Young Frankenstein. I was actually going to review The Curse of Frankenstein or some other Frankenstein movie, but then I realized the 4K version of that's coming out like I think this not this Tuesday, but the next one uh, is not going to be here on time. So yeah, we're getting this review instead because it's the only other Frankenstein movie I own, and this is one of my favorite Frankenstein movies. I don't know why this is the only one I own, by the way. I need to fix that, but I'm reviewing this movie because, of course, Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein movie is getting a limited release in theaters next week. The week that this video goes up, probably will happen that week. Doesn't look like that movie's gonna play anywhere near me, which fucking sucks because I really want to go. But what can you do? Really sad that that's not playing anywhere near me. But I will review it when it hits Netflix, of course. Probably a late review because God, they're dropping that like in November, and holiday stuff and work. Oh my God. Anyways, Young Frankenstein. Let's talk about this movie. I actually do plan to review all Mel Brooks' movies at some point. I really do love his stuff, and I've not seen all of his movies, and I need to fix that. And he's not a director that has like a ton of movies. He has a good amount of them, but not like a ton. Definitely reviewing Spaceballs in the near future because part two is on the way. But this is one of his best comedy movies, and it's his most unique comedy movie. And, well, actually, let's not say most unique because he has another film that has like black and white elements to it. But this is a very unique movie because this movie is actually in continuity with all the other old Universal Mel Brooks movie, or not Mel Brooks movies, Frankenstein movies, or at least it's trying to appear like it is. We have young Frankenstein, who is, of course, related to Dr. Frankenstein. And there's a lot of great jokes with that in the movie, but this movie is very interesting because this movie is so much trying to ape the style of those movies, and it does so successfully that that's where a lot of the jokes in this movie come from. There's a lot of lines that just don't fit in a Universal Monsters movie, but that's where a lot of the humor comes from. And there's so many unique things about creating that style. I mean, yeah, there's in black and white for a good portion of the movie, and then you get these amazing set pieces and a lot of music cues, a lot of just things that are so reminiscent of those movies. It's so unique and very interesting. And there's so many great gags, and Gene Wilder's, of course, amazing in this movie. It just is the perfect parody of these movies while also being a loving send-up of these movies in such a unique way where you could watch this movie almost as if it's not a comedy. But it's kind of hard because there's so many funny lines in this movie, great moments when he's fucking yelling at him to put the freaking kite to electricity bolt off of. Of course he does that, and he's fucking yelling at him from up there, and he somehow magically appears down there. Two great jokes like that. Just funny faces characters make, great lines of dialogue. Just a funny movie. I adore this movie so much. Such a well-directed movie. So many great, just everything to it. And it's amazing to me how well this holds up, because I think some of the thing with some of Mel Brooks' comedies, I don't think they hold up very well as much as people will say they do. Like Blazing Saddles, I think, is one that still holds up quite a bit. That one's, gets played in theaters a lot. People talk about that one a lot. But, I think Spaceballs, I rewatched that when they announced the sequel. We'll talk about this more when I eventually review that movie in a couple years. It was just so bizarre watching that, because I was like, wow, this movie is rough. It's really jagged around the edges. So, very interesting movie that I really enjoyed, and one of my favorite Frankenstein movies. Let me know if you're going to end up checking Charles Frankenstein, and if you've ever seen this movie before, because I absolutely adore this movie. And if I might review another Frankenstein movie. I don't think it will just because the timing's not there, but I've been thinking about it. Let me know your thoughts, like, and subscribe.